Hello, Cory here. Thank you for joining me. This is Practicing with Cory, where I take a piece of music I've been practicing recently, and I bring you through the piece, take you through the piece, and show you various portions of it, and I try to promote the piece because I think it's a great piece of music, and you can find the links below this video where you can purchase this piece of music from Sheet Music Plus. Recently, a student of mine brought to my attention this very wonderful arrangement of Pure Imagination from the 1971 movie Willie Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I remember that movie very well as when I was young. I used to love that movie. And this is a very beautiful arrangement, a very beautiful, excellent arrangement of Pure Imagination, which is the main song in that movie. This particular arrangement is done by Rupert Austin. I have no ties with Rupert Austin. I don't know Rupert Austin. I've never met him. He's never met me. And but I think it's a wonderful, wonderful arrangement, and I wholeheartedly promote it. So you can get, like I said, the link below this video where you can purchase this from Sheet Music Plus. Go over there and support Rupert. If his other arrangements are anything like this one, I'm a big fan of his. I think it's just a fantastic arrangement. He does a great job with it, and he's obviously a great pianist. I think he plays it himself in his own YouTube video, and he shows the sheet music, so you can go and listen to him do it as well. Apparently, I'm assuming that he's some sort of a jazz pianist. I'm a classical pianist myself. I'm not really a jazz pianist per se. The closest I get to jazz is ragtime and maybe some early jazz that's related to ragtime. But other than that, I'm really not a jazz pianist. But the second section in here is sort of a swing rendition. And then it goes into another section, and then it finishes off at the end. So one of the things I love about this particular arrangement by Mr. Austin is that it's great for pianists of all levels. You can be a sort of a moderate level, intermediate level, and you can play it. You can simply omit the two middle sections, just play the outer sections, which is fine. They're not too overly difficult. If you're advanced and you want more of a concert type piece, you can include the sort of swing jazz section of it, and then what I call the impressionistic or Debussy-like section after that, which is pretty difficult technically. So it has something for everyone, and that's just one of the great things. The other great thing is it's just simply just a fabulous arrangement. You know, it's just really, really first rate. And so when I get around to it soon, I'll probably record it as well on my channel. But for now, I'll just talk about it a little bit and show you how much of a great arrangement it is, so you can go and get the music and practice it yourself. So let's just start here from the beginning. Then you have a little pause, then it goes into the next section. If you're not that advanced in piano, you can just stop right there and you can cut right over to the end. It sort of repeats what we just did with some ruled chords, and then it has a little coda at the end, which I'll get to a little bit later in this talk. But if you're a little more advanced and you want to tackle some nice innovative kind of jazz style, then you can go into the next section, which is sort of a very swing version. It's notated with mostly eighth notes, and you'll have to dot the eighth notes and do triplets, dot, 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 dot. So I'm going to play a little of that for you here. So we end. A nice romantic ritardando. Wait a second, then. Turn. So you get an idea of this sort of jazzy section here. Dun, dun, dun. You can hear the drums. Drums in the background. Dun, dun, dun. It's not easy. It's not easy, actually. You have to have a real feel for that sort of jazzy style rhythm. If you want to practice it, you can slow it way down. Like if you're just learning it and these jazz style rhythms are sort of new to you, you can put it on sort of a slow speed. That's sort of what the kind of speed I would do if I were like sight reading it. That's sort of my sight reading speed. Actually, a couple days ago, I was sort of on that speed. Now I'm speeding it up a little bit. So that goes on for another 3 pages. And one of the things I love about this arrangement is Mr. Austin's transition into the sections. I'm going to end this swing section here. Back into non-triplet rhythms, back into duplet style rhythms or classical style rhythms there. So I love that transition. Then after it pauses there, then he has probably my favorite part of all in the whole piece is he has the melody in the left hand, and then he has these cascading beautiful 16th note runs and arpeggios in the right hand. It really reminds me of the music of Debussy or Impressionist music. So you have to be very skilled with bringing out the melody in the left hand and keeping the right hand sort of soft and supple. So here's how this goes. Ooh, beautiful. I love this section. Love this section. I've been spending most of my time on these two pages, this impressionist-like section, because it's actually technically the most difficult, and musically probably also, because it requires great balance between the hands. You want to bring the left hand out with the melody. He has nice accents there usually on the melody notes in the left hand. In the right hand, you don't want to be too loud in the right hand. You want to keep it down, keep it kind of soft, and it's very impressionistic sounding. The tempo I played is maybe a little under speed. It should be maybe a little faster than that, but I've been practicing that. And you know by now, if you've seen my videos, I'm a big proponent of slow practice. So over the past couple days, I've been doing a lot of like slow practice, like it should be in the 80s somewhere, but I'm practicing in the 50s. So I'm going to put it on 54. Metronome's on 54, and I'm just going to play some of this, and you can hear the clearness and the clarity you get when you practice it at a slow speed. That part repeats again, then it goes into another short section before that ends. But you can hear that when you practice it at maybe like a 2/3 tempo or so, it's supposed to be in the 80s. I practiced it in the 50s. That allows you time to really hear everything in detail, and it helps with memory too. If you want to memorize it, it really helps you to really solidify that memory. I love this section. This is just genius. It really is. It's very well written. I never get tired of practicing it. It's as good as anything that Debussy could have done. It really is. It's excellent. So anyway, after that ends, a nice romantic ritardando or rallentando. Take a couple seconds, then goes back to the beginning. goes into a little coda section, a little slower. So I love this section. It's very chromatic sounding. There you have the very beautiful closing section and coda to this great arrangement. And I wanted to say something something about the rolled chords, that when you see rolled chords here, you don't always, I think that sometimes pianists, or very often pianists, will try to roll too fast. But in something slow like this, I think slower rolled chords are more appropriate. So I would suggest something very harp-like instead of like that. I'm in measure 124 if you have the score here. Now when you get here, I like to cross hands. It doesn't indicate to cross hands, but I mean, you don't have to, but I find it's easier. I find it's easier to get control over the notes if you and also I like to roll this chord a little slower, like that, instead of going like most pianists would go. They would instinctually try to roll it quickly, but I think in this case it's better if the roll is prolonged. So you have, and then bring that G out, hold it for a couple seconds, and then you end it. That's the romantic way to do it. So you want to be very careful with your rolled chords. Very careful with the rolled chords. You want to make sure it just sounds like magic, like pure imagination. Like you get that chocolate bar from Willy Wonka. This is just a fantastic arrangement. I just love this. And my hats off to Rupert Austin. You know, Rupert, if you happen to be watching this video, man, hats off to you. This is great. This is excellent. One of the finest arrangements of anything that I've run across, really. And I've seen a lot of arrangements and played a lot of arrangements and done a lot of arranging myself. So this is very, very well done. I highly encourage you, if you're a pianist of any level, to go and get this piece and work on it. Pretty soon I will probably be recording it when I get a chance on the Bach Scholar channel. So thank you for joining me today with Practicing with Cory. Go get your score and have fun with pure imagination.